I had nothing. I had a default skin, default axe, and everything. And I decided that it would be a good idea to grab some money, or Dad's money, and spend it on V-Bucks so I can get some skins for the game. I did it because when I'm playing on Xbox, my friends kept on telling me, why don't you get some skins? So one day they said that and I done it. Just watching this thing with $7.99 written on it, and I was like, oh, that's not much. So I tapped OK, and then I just got I felt that wasn't enough, so I went and bought more and more and more and more. So it's really, really easy. I thought it was going to be like 50 quid or something, but it wasn't.
One Saturday morning, and I was thinking to myself, I'll have a look how much money we've got in the bank. Maybe we can have a nice Chinese tonight, or a pizza or something like that. And as I was looking through my balance on my phone, I noticed that there was lots of payments to Xbox which I hadn't made myself. And when I totaled them up, it was 19 transactions of $7.99, coming to about £150, just over. And of course, I was just really, really annoyed.
This was obviously very stupid. I got told off real bad. I got my Xbox taken away from me.
In Henry's case, he was spending money on items and skins for the popular game Fortnite. However, there is another way that players can gain items in-game: the loot box, which has seen some players around the world spend hundreds and thousands of pounds to advance. But what are loot boxes, and how big are they for the gaming industry?
A loot box is at a base level a way for you to pay either with real world money or virtual currency you've earned through playing for a chance at a virtual item. And this can take many forms. We use the sort of catch-all phrase loot box to describe many different things, but they're not all boxes. They're not all like virtual boxes that open, many of them are. If you take FIFA, for example, which is one of the most popular video games in the world, one of, if not the most popular game in the UK, the loot boxes are virtual packs of cards, the sort of video game equivalent of packs of stickers that you used to collect when you were a kid. And you don't know what exactly you're going to get in that pack. You can buy them with real world money or virtual currency you've earned through playing the game. If you pack a brilliant player, the virtual version of that player will walk onto a stage, fireworks will spring up into the sky, music will play. It's a thrilling moment, it's an amazing feeling to get one of these really ultra rare items. And all of that sort of like aesthetic paraphernalia is designed to make you feel awesome. Video games used to be very much about making money through selling the game at a shop. You'd pay your £40 or whatever it was, and then the publisher would get a cut of that money, and that's how they made money. Now, on top of that, it's all about generating recurring revenue through a live service. The idea is that you buy the game and you play it, pretty much all year round, and spend a little bit of money as you do. And for a lot of publishers, this is their main way that they generate revenue. For Electronic Arts, which makes FIFA, Battlefield, the Star Wars games, this is very much the way that they make their money. I've already mentioned FIFA Ultimate Team. It's the single biggest driver of revenue for that company, making hundreds of millions every quarter.
But what drives gamers to spend so much on things like loot boxes?
Loot boxes in a lot of ways are becoming a sense of prestige at school. And so if you have a really cool character, you have a really cool skin, you're popular at school because all the kids are gaming. But if you don't have that, that could also cause you to be excluded or to not be looked at in the same way. And that thing is happening in high schools or with young people all over the world. And I think that's causing some impact on their self-esteem, their impact of being able to feel included. And ultimately, the game companies are designing this in a way where it's exploiting that.
I think it was a bit of peer pressure. His friends have all got lots of different things on this particular game of Fortnite that he was playing, and he just wanted to be one of, maybe not one of the in crowd, but he wanted to be part of what they've been experiencing while they've been playing it.
Everyone's telling me to do it, but I really don't want to do it because I know I'll get told off. I know that if I do it, I'll get a really bad punishment and I'll probably get banned. and I'm like, oh, I don't know if I should do it or not. I feel kind of disappointing in myself because spending that much money, I just imagine how hard it is as a parent to like say to them, you're banned from your Xbox, and now thanks to you, we can't buy anything.
It has been financially difficult, definitely. You know, I've had to work some more hours and had to have an advance from work financially to see us through the month. When we've been doing the shopping, we've had to do, buy less expensive things, should we say, than what we normally do, and just shop on a really tight budget. So it's had a very negative impact, should we say, on family life as a whole.
Internationally, there is a big question considering if loot boxes are a form of gambling, as in the UK they're not currently classified as such. But what harm is being done to young people and their families if these games are encouraging gambling behaviour?
This is the primary issue when it comes to loot boxes, as it relates to children who play video games. I believe it's normalising gambling. It's sort of seeding that in children who may or may not know what gambling in the real world is anyway.
I don't think young people necessarily see that when they are buying loot boxes that that's a form of gambling, but their perception of it is different. And from a game design standpoint, it makes a lot of sense. They're not saying, hey, you're gambling in the game. They're saying, hey, you want to win Darth Vader in Star Wars Battlefront. They're locked and you need to be able to get them. And so I definitely think that it can increase the exposure for kids to gambling and gambling-like behavior, and that can increase that sort of behavior when they're older.
The government so far has decided not to legislate, and the Gambling Commission has looked at it, and they say as far as they're concerned, they don't think they currently want to go further, but they're still not managing to solve the problem.
The Government Department of Digital Culture, Media and Sport is currently taking evidence about the future of gaming and immersive technology, and they're considering the impact of issues like the loot box. Whilst the future for the industry is unknown, many believe change needs to happen so that everyone can continue to game responsibly and happily.
Gambling law hasn't been modernized for the digital world, and currently gambling law doesn't include virtual goods, even if you can spend real world money to get those virtual goods and if you can sell those virtual goods. And so I think gambling law just around the world needs to be modernized for the digital age.
What I would like to see is a solution found within the industry to try and find a way around this. I think legislation is the last resort. What I want to do is get an outcome which allows the game sector to thrive, but young people, and particularly vulnerable people, to be protected, and that's what we'll try and do.
People should be able to play video games. It should be a healthy thing. It should be a fun thing. They should have career opportunities. But the gaming industry has to start coming forward and being a part of the solution, or they're going to be regulated into it. And I believe that we're at a crossroads really soon where they're going to have to make that decision.
I don't know, it's been a very steep learning curve and an expensive learning curve. In some ways, it's been a expensive lesson for both of us.
The only advice I'll give is to not do it again, and that you'll probably get a bad punishment, a really bad punishment.